Hey, Facebook friends, YouTube subscribers, general guitar enthusiasts. This is Andy's free guitar chart videos, and I thought it'd be a good idea if we did a review on some charts. So we went back about 8 charts, and we'll just look around and see what we got. If I go back one more chart, it's looking like half diminished. That's where pretty much I left off. You know, the half diminished is easy. It's you can squanch it all into the cages. So these are the tripentatonic cages. Mixolydian, if you want to use a Mixolydian substitution. Now, you can use any of the modal substitutions, because in the key of C, let's say, or whatever key you're in, right? You know, let's say we're in the key of C. You can use the Mixolydian G7, the 5th. Most of that 5th is a half diminished. Okay, so the B, the D, and the F. So all you really have to do is kind of suppress the G, but you can play it because it's in the mode. But my favorite substitution for the half diminished is the Dorian. And if you look at any of these half diminished cages, let's just look at charts for a second here. You know, I'm doing this video and we're gonna really get to the meat of the problem, and this could take more than an hour. The blue notes are the half diminished. Key of R, 7, 2, 4, minus 6. Forget minus 6. Forget minus 6. Full diminished. Oh, okay, yeah. Full diminished is like 7, 2, 4. But instead of a half diminished major, half diminished 7th, you're gonna minus that 6. Okay, so I don't usually play full diminished as far as this year, you know, what we're doing. If there's a song that has a full diminished on the piano, I'm ready to play it. You know, I know them all. You know what I'm saying? I know them without even like advancing each one, you know, each one a half step to get the next chromatic. I know C diminished. I know C sharp diminished. I know D diminished. You know, all that stuff. I just know them from playing good old-fashioned American songs or whatever, you know, just folk songs, whatever they call them. So that's diminished. We can use the Dorian substitution. I wish I had labeled these what the heck they are. Here's the Dorian Locrian. So what is Dorian? Dorian is the D minor. So if let's tune up. And then if I put the capo on, I can do an E tune on it. Sounds good to me. The D minor in the key of C is a good way to substitute for this half diminished, and it is labeled here. As a matter of fact, if I undock this, okay, there was no label. Oh, okay, what's it say anyway? chart 99, half diminished root minor diminished fifth shapes. Okay, I know what that is. Half diminished chords made by Dorian by adding the seventh. That's what I was talking about right here. Cage bound half diminished arpeggios and full dominant plus full dominant chord. I wonder if I was talking about half full diminished chord there. See, because it says full diminished here, but then this is the dominant. The Mixolydian is the dominant. By the way, you know, although in the key of C, the G is the dominant mode, the Dorian, the Phrygian, and even the Locrian are all dominant sevenths. They're all whole steps from their relative roots. So here's the Dorian scale. There's Phrygian. There's a major dominant. So I guess there's something to adding a major tonality to a dominant that gives it, I guess, that leading tone to the Ionian. And now the Locrian is also the seventh's a whole step down. So A's a whole step down from C there. Now I'd want to do that like here. This is just see, we got a whole step here. So it's like a dominant double minor. Minor, third, minor, third. Okay? And that gets you to the F. Then you got a major third to that dominant. Alright? But if you want to go from that F on up to the B again, to the seventh, you've got an augmented fourth. Sounds like an ambulance. You know, that's the ambulance, like the fourth one or something like that. So you can see that each of these charts is labeled enough that we can make heads or tails of it. The top level here is 7 half diminished, 7, 2, 4, and 6. That means it's a seventh half diminished. Although it's on the seventh scale degree, it's also a seventh chord. I don't mean to sound like Beekman. Okay? And just the way that this is deriving a half diminished chord, right? It says, take the major. So the major would be an E-shaped root in this case, right? Root 2, 3, 5, 6 root, 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. E-shaped root. Drop it down one, okay, 7th degree. Drop it down one to the minor. So now it's going to be an E minor shaped, right? So instead of let's just zoom in a little bit so that the cursor will do a little more of a job here. I hope we've got a good cropping here. All right, so we're almost done with this segment. So the E major would be here, 5 root 3, but if you drop that down a half step minor right there, you would get this one, and this one. How come neither of those guys are in the picture?